Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nicomsat. Now the news in full. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment in fighting Nigerians' insecurity. He stated this while delivering a keynote address during an inaugural international lecture organized by the News Agency of Nigeria in Abuja. Adike Michael has the report. Tinubu may bar revenue-generating agencies from collecting revenues on behalf of the federal government as he plans to introduce a single agency Nigeria revenue service to handle the tax. This came as the federal government instituted a comprehensive set of fresh tax reforms aimed at significantly boosting revenue collection. The reforms designed to enhance efficiency of collecting direct taxes, along with various levies that are imposed on behalf of the government, bar the Nigerian Customs Service, Nigerian Ports Authority, and 60 other revenue collection agencies from participating in revenue collection activities, but will lead to the creation of the Nigerian Revenue Service. The Inter-Party Advisory Council, also called IPAC, has condemned alleged plans by some interested groups and politicians to truncate the upcoming Rivers State local government election, urging that the nation's democracy should be jealously guided. Anthony Mamadou tells us more. Apologize that report will be brought in our subsequent bulletin. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has charged Edo State Governor-elect Monday Okpebolo to ensure he fulfills his campaign promises to the people. Here is Amarachi Ibe's story. The Economic Community of West African State, heads of state and government, are planning to institute a 5,000-man kinetic force to tackle terrorism in the region. This is as the regional bloc disclosed that 1,605 terror attacks have been recorded between January and August 2024 in West Africa, with a total of 6,956 fatalities. The president of ECOWAS Commission, Omar Traoré, disclosed this in Abuja. Given the breakdown of the figure, Traoré, who was represented by the Program Officer, Regional Security Division, Department of Political Affairs, Peace and Security, ECOWAS Commission, Isaac Armstrong, says Burkina Faso accounted for 611 attacks and 3,810 fatalities. Mali recorded 546 attacks with 1,424 fatalities. Nigeria, 238 attacks with 905 fatalities. Niger, 1,533 attacks with 676 fatalities. Benin, 44 attacks with 66 fatalities. And Togo, 13 attacks with 75 fatalities. The Kano State 2024 School Enrollment Drive campaign commitment met with the Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, ahead of the launch of the enrollment drive in Kano. Briefing the Emir at his palace, the State Commissioner of Education, Alhaji Umar Dagowa, disclosed that arrangements have been completed to launch the enrollment drive campaign across the state. Dagowa says the committee was at the Emir's palace to seek support towards sensitizing the public to the importance of sending their children to school. Let's go on a quick break. Midday News continues shortly. Stay tuned. You're welcome back to Midday News on Global Television. A federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja barred a former governor of Taraba State, Darius Ishaku, from traveling out of the country pending the conclusion of its ongoing 27 billion naira fraud trial. Justice Sylvanus Orji imposed a travel restriction as part of conditions attached to the bill granted to the ex-governor alongside his co-defendant Bello Yero. The judge granted Isiaku 150 million naira bail with two shorties in like sum. He says both shorties must be residents in Abuja, while one must be a director in the federal government's employment. Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya of Gombe State has set up a high-level negotiation team to engage with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities, and the National Association of Academic Technologists, all of Gombe State University. A statement by the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Ibrahim Abubakar Ngoji, reveals that the team will be chaired by the Deputy Governor, Dr. Manessa Daniel Jatau. He also said the committee, comprising other key government officials, have been tasked with negotiating the demands put forward by the union and resolving them through dialogue to ensure the stability of the academic activities at the GSU. You're watching Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Moving on in the news, oil prices stabilized Friday after soaring on fears about the Middle East crisis as investors await Israel's response to Iran's missile attack, while shares in Hong Kong resumed their rally on mixed day for equal market. Speculations about Israel's response to the scores of missiles fired at it has stoked concern that the region could erupt into a wider conflict that incorporates Iran. Crude has risen around 10% since that launch, owing to fears of a hit to supplies, while China's recent drive to rejuvenate its vast economy has the potential to cause a surge in demand. As the rising price of cooking gas continues eating deep into people's earnings, many residents in Kano are switching to using wood and charcoal to prepare their meals. In this special report, Global TV correspondent Ibrahim Jibrin takes a look at the implications of the prices increase on Kano residents and the impact it has in the environment. The Nigerian naira saw a slight recovery as dollar supply in the official market surged significantly. According to data from the FMDQ, based on daily trades on the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, the naira appreciated by 0.60%, closing at 1,659 naira.26 to naira per US dollar, compared to 1,667.15 on October 2nd, 2024. Now, this follows a significant depreciation the previous day when the naira closed at 1,669.15 naira, marking an 8.25% drop from 1,541 naira, the rate recorded on the last trading day of September. In a bid to enhance agricultural productivity and promote sustainable practices, stakeholders in Bauchi State have advocated for the widespread adoption of organic fertilizer. This call was made at a lecture organized by the Agriculture Stakeholders Interactive Forum in Bauchi State, which was organized to educate farmers and other stakeholders on the benefits of organic farming. It was reported that the forum, which also aimed at focusing on the production and use of organic fertilizers, quoted the chairman of the forum, Refilianus Johanna, as emphasizing the importance of utilizing materials readily available in the environment to produce organic fertilizers. The federal government has announced the distribution of 150,000 naira to small business owners in the southeast state, Enugu. This is contained in a statement by the spokesperson of the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, Stanley Kwocha, following Shettima's visit to the MSME Fashion Hub in the state. Speaking during the launch of the 5th expanded National MSME Clinic in the Coal City, the Vice President noted that the 150,000 naira, which is an outright grant that has no requirement for repayment, reflects the commitment of the Tinubu administration to nurturing MSMEs and fostering economic growth in the country. Over now to the Lagos state government has announced that it will fully enforce the ban on styrofoam food containers and single-use plastics by January 2025. The memorandum of extended until the end of 2024, will soon expire, paving the way for full implementation. This decision aims to mitigate the harm effect of plastic waste on both the environment and public health. African oil-producing nations planning to launch a $5 billion energy bank next year in Abuja have already secured 45% of the required startup capital. The bank aims to address the funding gap created by traditional investors shifting their focus from crude oil to low-carbon energy. According to Omar Farouk Ibrahim, Secretary General of the African Petroleum Producers Organization, Angola, Nigeria and Ghana are among the initial bankers, with the funds raised even before the bank's legal establishment. On our foreign news now, India's government has asked the country's top court not to toughen criminal penalties against marital rape during an ongoing case brought by campaigners seeking to outlaw it. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government enacted an overhaul code in July which restrains that clause, despite the decade-long court challenge by activists seeking to make marital rape illegal. India's Interior Minister filed an affidavit to Supreme Court stating that while marital rape should result in penal consequences, the legal system should treat it more leniently than rape committed outside of marriage. Lebanon said an Israel strike cut off the main international road to Syria after Israel said Hezbollah was transporting weapons through the tiny Mediterranean country's principal land border crossing. The strike, which Israel has not commented on, comes after 310,000 people, mostly Syrians, have in recent days fled the war pitting Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon for relative safety in neighboring Syria. It follows an intense night of bombardment of Hezbollah's main bastion in the southern suburb of Beirut, with a U.S. news website saying Israel integrated the militant group potential successor just a week after it killed its leader, Hassan Nasrallah. The escalating assault by Israel comes as it weighs retaliation for Hezbollah's backer, Iran's missile attack. In sports, the under-17 women national team Flamingos arrived at their campsite in Santo Domingo, a city in the Dominican Republic, for a 2-week intensive camping exercise ahead of 2024 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup finals, held from October 16 to November 3rd in the country. Flamingos are loaded in Group A alongside host country Dominican Republic, Ecuador and New Zealand, whom they face in their opening game in October 16 at Estadio Gembio, Santiago the Flamingos have been to every edition of the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, missing only the 2018 edition. Now, two Nigerian pilgrims, Seriki and Mary Aina Abe, are poised to represent the country in separate flights overseas in October 19. Shabusin will make his international debut against Belgium's Francisco Patera in a lightweight clash at Hall Olympisport de la in Hostler League. Sobogan came into his fight following a draw in his last outing against Aziz Latif in an 8-round super featherweight contest at the Total Destruction event held at the National Institute for Sports, Lagos State in July. And that's it on Midday News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, we are on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and free to air on NICOMSAT. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms by using the Global TV NG and the handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon.